from Heart to Hand. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your day to spend with me. I really appreciate your company. So thank you for being here. And guys, finally, I have finished my February hybrid folio. So thank you so much for your patience. Those of you who have seen my January one and have been waiting a while. It is now the 30th of March and I'm showing you my February one, but never mind. At least I've gotten there. So it's finished but not embellished. And as I mentioned in my January one, I like to do that when I'm adding my photos. So I haven't actually added the embellishments in here yet. So this is part of Project 365 Hybrid Folios, and this is a tutorial designed by Kathy from Paper Phenomenon, and this particular one is from Q1. Now I'm going to leave a link to that tutorial in the description box so you can check it out. So before I move on, I just wanted to mention a couple of things about it because I've had a couple of questions. It is as I said, it's Project 365, meaning it's a whole year of folios. Okay, so from January to December, so there's 12 of them in the series. And hybrid folio simply means it's a cross between a album and a folio. So it has folio page style pages, but it has a chipboard cover like an album. So that's why it's a hybrid. And Q1, that means there's 3 tutorials in that one tutorial, so to speak. So you'll get, I think in the tutorial it says style 1, style 2 and style 3. Style 1 is January, and that's this one that I showed a flip through of. I will leave a link, if you haven't seen the flip through of the January one, I'll leave a link up here in the description box below and you can have a look at that one. So this was my January one, but that's style 1. The one I'm going to show you today is style 2 and it's February's one, and then the next one will be style 3, which is March. Okay, so I know a few of you have actually gone and picked up this tutorial from the January one, and good on you for that. You're going to absolutely love it. But what that means is if you love this folio, you don't need to make another purchase. Okay, you already have this in that tutorial, so it's really great for that. The other thing that's really great, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, is that each album is actually the same. So all 12 albums are constructed in exactly the same way. The difference each month is the page setups. They're all different page setups. So what that means is you can actually mix and match these pages. So for example, in this one I've got a stacked pocket on the cover, but if you don't like that, you can take this one from January or style 1. You might want to put an acetate pocket on your front cover instead and use the rest of the pages from style 2. So how good is that? You can actually customize your own album with your favorite pages. So I think that's pretty cool. So I really love this project. So also the paper collection I'm using is beautiful. This is also by Paper Phenomenon. It is called Compendium Chapter 1, this paper collection, and I absolutely love it. It is in the colors I love, so pinks and purples and blues, really soft colors. There's some neutrals, and the theme is books and relaxation. So it is just a really beautiful collection to work with. It is a 12 by 12 digital paper collection. But don't be put off by that. I've actually done a whole video showing you how I use 12 by 12 paper collections using an ordinary A4 printer. So if you've just got an A4 or letter size printer, I'll leave a link to that video up here also in the description box also. Check that video out. It does give you a bit of a sneak peek of this paper collection because this is the one I'm using to demonstrate. I also leave a link. Kathy has done a really great video on how you can also resize the 12 by 12s using Photoshop Elements. down to a letter or A4 size. So go and check that video out. Don't be put off by 12 by 12 digital paper collections if you only have a regular size printer. They do work and they're just beautiful, and this one's stunning. You're going to love it. So this actually comes with the main paper collection, which you'll see, but it also comes with a separate accessories pack that you can buy, which I have purchased as well, and that contains sort of some of these little journaling, these beautiful little journaling cards that you can use. Now these are on a 12 by 12. So what I did was I turned these into an 8 by 8 and printed them on my A4 paper. So they are smaller than what the file is, but they're still beautiful and workable. I've also used some of these. Now these are actually in, I show you in the video how I created these little cards. They're little cards that are both got the pattern paper back and front, how you can create those. So if you have a look at the video I've done, you can see how to make those out of the paper collection. But these bits and pieces, they're actually from the accessories set. So I just wanted to let you know. So let's have a look at the album. Excuse me. So the other thing I think I've forgotten to mention with the January one is I think Kathy uses black Tyvek on her albums, and here in Australia that's really difficult to find, particularly big sheets of Tyvek. So what I have done for mine, if you live in Australia and you're having the same problem, is I've actually used black fabric on mine. So the base of my album is actually fabric. Okay, this is just a polyester cotton that I've picked up from Spotlight for a few dollars a meter. It's really cheap. Excuse me, you can use 100% cotton if you like. I just use the polyester cotton, and what that does is it gives you lovely strong hinges here on the cover. They're not going to break or go anywhere because it's fabric. So that's why I love using it. And for the adhesive, I just use my art glitter glue. That works really well with fabric, as well as my strong score tape around the edges when I'm sticking it to my chipboard. So that's something you can do if you're having trouble finding the Tyvek as well. And if you don't want your fabric all the way around like I've done all over your cover, you can simply just do your spine in it, so you have a nice strong spine, and maybe you just want to cover the chipboard with paper. So that's another option as well. So anyway, that's this one. Same construction as the January one, exactly the same size, same construction, but different cover as well. So that's what I've done here. Because I've used A4 paper and I didn't have 12 by 12 this time, it wasn't wide enough, obviously, to go on the front cover. So I've done a pieced cover, which you can do. So you can see here I've cut one piece of paper here, that pink paper, and then I've made a spine decoration here. So this is just a punch that I had that I've used here, and I've just decorated it with some of the pattern paper. And then on the spine, again, my daughter has very graciously hand lettered my February for me, so I love that. That is really nice. And then on the back I've kept it plain, but look at this paper. You just don't need to do anything with it. I've just found I haven't wanted to cover this throughout my whole album. I really don't think I'm going to embellish too much because it's just so beautiful. It has this beautiful mixed media look, beautiful colors. It's just absolutely stunning. And what's great too about the paper collection is you get these beautiful pattern papers, but you also get these lovely plain papers as well that are distressed. And Kathy also includes completely plain papers, so just the plain purple as well. So you have so many options with this paper collection, which is great. Now mine is way too thick because you'll know why. I'll show you. I've put some folios in here and they're not all going to stay in there. I just wanted to give you some options, so that's why mine's looking rather thick without even the photos in yet, but it will become thinner. So on the front cover, again, I've used these little swivel clasps. Again, in Australia, they're really hard to find. I don't know why. So I've just used, Kathy has an SVG file that you can use, purchase actually. She's got lots of things in it. Again, I'll leave a link to that in the description box and you can check it out. But these are actually in that, and I cut these out on my Cricut. I simply layered 3 of them together, glued them together so they're a bit strong, and just used a brad. So that's how I got those. So that just simply opens, and on the front here is one of those little cards that were in the accessory. They just fitted there nicely. So that's what I've used to decorate that, and that just opens up, and then there's space right on your front cover for photos. This is for a 5x7 and a 4x6. Now again, like my January one, this is only for 5x7s and 4x6s. So that's the size I want to use throughout the album. It's a large album, so it can accommodate those size photos, which is really nice. So that's what's on the front cover. Again, beautiful pattern papers. Again, my daughter has lettered that for me. So you won't find that in the accessory pack, but I just love that her hand lettering's there. It makes it extra special. Okay, so we open up, and on the inside, front and back covers are the same. This time we have a stacked pocket set up. So that's where there's pockets layered one on top of the other. And again, you can see this beautiful paper. So I've taken a sheet of the paper and I've cut it, and so it continues up the page. So when you take out the photo mats, you can see how this continues, and I've just broken it up. There's lovely text papers in here as well, and I've just done a tabbed large photo mat here that will fit a 5x7 there, both back and front. So I've just done a single layer because my album has become quite bulky. I've just done a single layer, but these pockets are great just to add extra photos in as well if you wanted to. So this is from the accessory set as well. So it's not only about the little journaling cards, you also get these cool little folders that you put together. So you simply print them out back and front, and it comes with a little pocket and a little tag that you can journal in as well. You could possibly put a little photo in there as well if you have one. And then there's also text in the this is in the main kit. You get the text as well, and I've printed that onto clear sticker paper. So I've just popped that there. I haven't embellished it too much because it's going to just probably live in this pocket. I haven't decided yet. I've just popped things in. Who knows where they'll end up. And then this is one of these, again, these little journaling cards that I've just popped in the middle. Here I've got a smaller photo mat for a 4x6 each side to put in the front. And these stacked pockets are also on the back cover as well. So, and then we have this great little setup here. So this is a photo mat, but it acts as a lock to this. So this is just a 4x6 photo mat, and then because this is a belly band, but it locks this in place. So this opens up, and you have all these lovely this waterfall to put. Now I haven't done anything in here because these are going to fit 4x6s perfectly. So I'm just going to stick my photos straight inside there. But how lovely is that? And then that closes up. And then again, this acts as a little locking mechanism. So things just stay all where they're meant to stay and aren't flopping around everywhere. And this one is exactly the same. And again, how handy have these cards come in. I've used one of these larger ones to mat here. So it really works out well when you shrink these down to 8x8. They just seem to work with these elements in your book. Again, 4x6 photos fit here, so I've just left that blank. Now this is a side loading pocket. Again, look at this paper, and this is the one I talk about in the video about using 12x12 pattern papers and sizing them down to A4 or letter size, and this is the actual example I show you in that. And you can see how you can continue the design across. So even though it's a side loading pocket and I've got paper inside here, it continues the design right across the page, which is really nice. So check out that video if you want to see how to do that. So I've been playing around, and I decided I wanted to make some little folios that hold photos. So I guess it's like a photo folio type thing. Now this isn't in the tutorial, okay? The main book is, but this is something I've been playing around with. So all I did was I wanted it for 5x7s and 4x6s. Because I had this large pocket, I wanted something to slip in there. Now in hindsight's always a great thing when you're designing. I would have done it a bit differently, and I would have actually turned it around, so I would have matted it the other way, and I would have popped it in the pocket with the bottom in and that sitting on top, is how I probably would have liked it. That kind of puts the bulk outside of the pocket, which just sits nicer in your album. But it can go in this way, so it's not a problem, but that's probably what I would have done in hindsight, but I wanted to use it. So it just simply opens up like a folder, and I've just got a space here for 5x7 photo, and then it opens up and there's another 5x7, and then these come out. These are 4x6s and another 5x7. Okay, and I've just made a little pocket here to put these photo mats in, and you can put as many in as you would like. So that's good, and these can be portrait or landscape that way. So that's that. And then here I've done a little, I guess it's like a hidden pocket, and the pocket actually sits under the matting. So I've made that sit inside the matting. Okay, so when you open it, this is what it looks like. And these actually come out, and they're 4x6 photo mats. And you can see here, in here is the pocket. So it's kind of hidden in the matting. Okay, and they just slip back inside there like that. And then I had a little 1-inch gap in the middle, and I could have sealed it up, but I decided to put this little tag just for cute sake, and that could have a little quote on it, or a favorite word even would be nice there. So I decided to add a little tag in this little center pocket. But again, you could seal that up and not have that. And then on this side, I have a little waterfall. These are 4x6s as well. I have changed this. Now that when the photo goes on this mat, it will cover that, but I decided to change this to white hinges, and you'll see in a minute how I've changed that. I've put plain paper here because this is a great journaling spot for your photos. Okay, another great journaling spot. And then this one is just stuck down. Okay, so it's kind of like a little waterfall happening there as well. So what's great, why I love these is you can tell a story in one of these folios. So you're obviously telling a story. This is my February one, so this is what's happened in February in my whole album. But there may be something special that happened and you have quite a few photos. For example, my little grandson, he just started prep school. And so he's got a lot of school photos. So he, you know, in amongst everything that's happening in February, that was a rather special event. So this will be a story just about him and him starting school. So you have these are great to concentrate on that. And if you add some of these journaling spots as well, you can talk about that too. Or not talk about it, write about it rather, sorry. You can write about it. And this becomes like a little mini story within your story, your album. So that's why I love it. The other great thing about these is they're standalone gifts. So you can imagine if you embellish this front cover a little bit more and maybe pop a little tie here, a little ribbon, or you could magnetize it so that it actually is a closure and sits flat. This would make a beautiful gift to give to someone in and of itself, because you can fit quite a few photos just inside this folio. So if you would like to make this, as I said, I can do a tutorial on it because this isn't part of this paid tutorial here. If you want to do the book, you'll need to purchase Kathy's tutorial for that. But for this, I have filmed, I'll show you the second one I've made. I have filmed myself making that, but I'm not sure if it's something you're interested in. So please let me know in the comments if you would like to see a tutorial on how to make these. They're not hard to do, and I'll give you all the measurements and scoring measurements and so on. and you could make your own. So please let me know if that's something you would like to see, and I will put a tutorial up for you on how to do it. So that just slips in there. Like I said, these aren't all going in my album. I've just popped them there to show you, you know, the different variations, because that will be way too thick for my album. So here we are here now. This is actually an envelope page. Isn't this paper just, it just makes me really happy. It's got all my favorite colors in it. It's calming, it's relaxing. It's just beautiful to work with. I really, really love it. Anyway, again, here's one of these little journaling cards. So these have come in very, very handy. And one of these little twist things from my Cricut. And this is an envelope. So this opens up. Hopefully I'm all in frame. It's a rather large album, yeah. Okay, and then I've just made this little set up here to put some photos in. I really have enjoyed working with these tabs. This is from the, let me grab it. We Are Memory Keepers. I don't know if you guys, it's old, I've had it for a while. It's called a tab punch board, and it's just come in so handy. I use it all the time, and that's how I made these tabs, if you're interested. So that's a great little tool to have. So all I've done here is I've done 2 5x7s here. Could be a journaling spot or just an opportunity to decorate, and a 4x6 in the middle here. So, and I've left this blank because I'm not sure if I want to put a photo there or if I'm going to mat it. I'm not sure yet. I'll see when I get my photos printed. So that just goes in there, and again I've just cut some of this beautiful paper again and just matted it here. So I love that paper. So that just slips in there, and again just a little swivel there. Okay, so on this page we've got this little undercut page here, which is really, really cute. Again, one of these handy dandy little journaling cards. So I really recommend the accessory set. It's going to help you out with your matting. This opens up. Again, this could be a little journaling spot. Look at this gorgeous bird, little canary, so beautiful. Okay, so this opens up, and we've got a spot here for the 4x6, and then we've got these two cute little flaps. Which way? Yeah, this way. So they both open. These are 4x6s. So again, I've left them because they fit the 4x6 photo perfectly, and I've just popped a mat there for another 4x6. So you can actually fit quite a few photos in this album, guys. It's really, really great. So that's a little undercut page, and there's an opportunity here for a 5x7 on the back of it. Okay, so now we come to the second style of photo folio that I've done. Now this is a top loading pocket here, so I'll take it out and you can see how I've done the matting. So you can see I've matched it up here because I was able to cut the 2 A4s and match it and have it inside the pocket as well. So I've also done a top loading folio to go in there also. So this actually has a mat here, and when you pop it in, this actually locks this in place, so it's not going to flip and flop everywhere. So it actually locks it in place in the pocket. So when you take it out, this also is a pocket within the matting. So you can see that it slips in under there. It just reduces the bulk a little bit. Okay, and so that just slips out of there, and that's a 5x7 photo mat. Okay, and so this flips down like that. Try and get all this in, and on this bottom flap I've just got 2 little flippy photo mats that flip open. Okay, and I've just matted it underneath. So you can see I've done white hinges here, and I like that much better. It's much better. And then I've just got my 5x7 landscape here. So there's a few opportunities for matting photos, and then a 4x6 up the top here. Okay, so I'll bring this down now because this opens up as well. Now here, in this one here, this is a little pocket. Okay. And this photo mat actually slips out of that pocket. All right, so I have filmed this one as well. Not this actual one, I'll show you the one I have filmed. But you can see that even though this is the same size here, it sticks out the side, which is what I wanted it to do. See there? And I'll teach you how to add a stop in your pocket so it doesn't disappear all the way down into your pocket. I wanted it sort of hanging out like that. So there's an opportunity for 2 more photos, and you could also put a photo on the back of that photo mat. Okay, and then bring this up. Here, this just opens like a gatefold. Okay, and I've just used some pattern paper here to hinge. So it will be covered here, so you'll only see sort of that much of the pattern paper. So that will look nice when the photos are actually in there. Okay, so that flips down like that, and then the photo mat goes in. See the little pocket here? Photo mat goes in here like that, and then it all slips in here, and it's all locked in place in that pocket. Okay, so you'll notice if you do make these folios, to know where you're going to put them, because you can see I've tried to carry this pink distress paper over here. I've tried to sort of blend it in with where it's going to be living. Okay, so try and do that. Now you can see how thick this is. So what I've done is this one sits with the thick part on top, and then this one is the actual one I filmed that I can do a tutorial on, and I've turned it around so that the thick part is sitting on the bottom. So that's sitting, and this is actually sitting on top. So it's turned around. So in the tutorial I show you how versatile it is. You can turn this to any orientation you would like. You just decide, and then you mat it accordingly. And again, you can see I've tried to match my matting, so it's part of, or it sits in with this. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to grab a quick drink of water. I was coughing all over the place, and I'm sure you didn't want to hear that. Anyway, hopefully all good now. So back to the folio. So this is the same sort of setup, but reversed, if you'd like. So we have this at the top this time instead of down the bottom. And in this one, I decided to add some plain paper in here because this could be an excellent spot to journal. And remember, I was telling you that these folios can form a little story in and of themselves. So it's really lovely to have these nice journaling spots so you can actually write about the story that you're trying to tell. And again, we have our little hidden pocket here where our 5x7 photo mat lives. But we've got a same setup here. I've got a 4x7 and a 5x6 there. So I'll just fold that over so I can get this all in frame. And as I said, I've got my little hidden pocket in here, and that's for the 5x7. So that goes inside of there. And then this flips down, and this time you can see I've put a little window. So remember in the other one I had a photo mat sitting on top, if you remember. Well, this time I decided to sacrifice that, so you do lose a spot for a photo, but you gain some decoration. So it's going to depend on how many photos you want to put in as to what you do. But in the tutorial, I do, if you would like the tutorial that is, I do show you how to do this window. So it gives you the option. And then you have your photo mat that comes out, so photo. And I've put some of the pattern paper on front of mine, but you could always put a photo here, and this could frame a part of that photo. So that would be really nice as well. It acts like almost like a photo frame. So this is actually the paper that I've shrunk down to a 6x6. So I've managed to get most of that design in there and make it smaller so it looks nice inside the window. Okay, so again, I have my little stop in there so that my card doesn't disappear, my photo mat doesn't disappear all the way, you know, I want it hanging out a little bit. So that's the little window. And again, we just have our little gatefold for your 4x6s there. Okay, so that just folds up like that, and then we pop our photo mat in. You can see the pocket there. I've got it inside the matting. So it just slips in there like that. And this one sits underneath like that. and then that whole thing. And and here too, you can see I've done the same thing with the paper, where I've simply used 2 of the A4 pieces and I've matched it so it looks like one big piece of paper. Okay, and then that can just sit inside, and that's locked in place by the pocket, so that's not flopping around either. So, and again, you can imagine you could have this as just a gift in and of itself. You could have a beautiful ribbon that ties all the way around to keep that closed, or again, a magnetized closure would be really nice as well, and that would make just a lovely gift. Oh, and that's the back as well. Look at that beautiful paper, just stunning. So that's the back. Yeah, so you can use these, as I said, as standalone gifts. Instead of a card, you can give a beautiful photo folio. So on this page, we've got, again, a stacked pocket set up here. And I've just popped in here just some, this would be just a little journaling spot here. So I've just popped these tabbed cards in here. I've done a center one. This holds a 4x6, which is great. And then this is a large one because they're stacked pockets, so they go all the way, all of them go all the way down to the bottom. This can hold a 5x7, which is really nice as well. So don't want that to disappear, so that goes in there. And again, I've just matted some of these beautiful little cards that are out of the accessory pack, and I've just popped them in there as a bit of a embellishment as well, so you can use them like that. Little spots to write things on if you would like. Okay, so that's that page. So on here, on this one, I decided to play around with the matting a little bit. So this is again one sheet of paper, and I decided to cut it and make a frame. I thought that might look really nice. And then this opens up, and I've got 2 spots for 2 5x7 photos here. And it just closes with a magnet. So I did put a magnet in this case just so that flap would stay closed. I didn't want one of the swivels here. I thought it would interfere with this design. I wanted it to look like it was just matted that way. So that was pretty easy to do. And then on this page, this is actually a side loading pocket, and I'm going to show you that's one of the other folio that I've actually filmed is this one. So it's a side loading pocket, but how it works is, and Kathy's always a genius with this sort of thing, I really love it. You put in a little locking folder that sits in this pocket. Okay, so I've just got one of these little, I've put a journaling spot on the back, one of these little cards. And this is just a 6x6 that I've just folded in half, and I haven't matted on the inside because I don't know whether I want to put my photo landscape or portrait. And once I decide, then I'll add my matting depending on which way I'm going to pop it. But it's just, that's all it is just a piece folded in half and matted. Now these are one of those little cards that we made when I showed you how to work with 12x12 digital papers. I showed you how to make these. They're really simple, but this is one way you could use it. You could just mat it, add a little journaling spot there like that, and then on the back side, rather than stick it down, I've just stuck it down like a pocket and popped a couple of little cards inside there for extra journaling as well. So you could do it that way. You could mat this first and pop that on top if you wanted to. I was just happy with the black background. So, you know, there's a few things you can do, but that's really simple. And then when you take it out, what it's locking in place is this fantastic waterfall set up here. And again, Kathy's designed this so that you could put in your 4x6s in either direction. So you could have it landscape or you could have it portrait. For example, on this one, I've made it a landscape spot, and I've then just matted down the bottom because I wanted to be able to see my matting on the outside. So these will be all landscape, but I haven't done this side because I can decide how I want my photo before I mat it. So that's a really lovely idea. So these are, I've matted, so they're all landscape photos. And then I've just added plain matting behind here. And this is one of the embellishments, and I've just stuck it on top there because it could become a little tuck spot for a little tag or, you know, something as well. under there. So it looks like a little bulldog clip. It's so cute. So they just sit there, and this goes in to lock it all in place so nothing moves anywhere. And then I've just popped this in here to keep this flap down as well. It says, just a girl who loves books. It's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, but this is also a side loading pocket. So I have another folio in here. Now I couldn't do the setup that I wanted to do, you know, with the doing it this way, because I had all this action happening. So I had to do it the same orientation. So here it is here. But to cut down the bulk, I've shown you how you can cut off one of the flaps. Okay, so you might remember there was a flap that came over. Well, you can simply cut that off if you're finding it's too bulky, and like I've done here. And then you just have your two 4x6 photo mats in here in this pocket, your 5x7 there, and then this setup is the same. Okay, so you've got your photo mats that are inside this matting. Okay, a little pocket that's hidden. Oops, sorry. I'll get that in this way, it might be easier. Okay, there we go, we've got it in. And then again, I've got my little 1-inch tag there, but you can glue that shut. You don't need to put a tag if you don't want to. And this is exactly the same, 5x7, the 4x6, and I've got just this matted the same way with some journaling, opportunity for journaling in there. Okay, so that's one that's, this one would probably work better in the album because there's not as much bulk in this one. So that can just sit in that side loading pocket. Okay, so that goes like that. And then this page, such a big album, I've got to make sure I'm in frame, guys, sorry. Okay, I think I am. These are the same, both of these pages. So they simply work by opening, and this opens, and this opens. So you've got 5x7s go on each side here. And then this is a belly band here, a really big belly band, and then a lovely big photo mat just goes underneath. So I've got a 5x7 and a 4x6 there. So, and just the beautiful paper. I just really wanted to, you know, show off this paper, so I've used it on the back of these, or the front of these photo mats. And then here is a pocket. So this is just your 5x7, just matted again with beautiful paper. Goes in there. And then there's just a pocket on the front here. And I've just put some of the embellishments. That's one of the cards I made in there, and some of these beautiful envelopes. These are part of the embellishment collection in the main paper kit. You'll find these. So really nice. So, and then it just closes up like that, just a little swivel. And this one is the same, exactly the same setup. Like that. I've got my 5x7, and I've got a large photo mat, again just showing off that paper, same layout, like that. And it just closes up like that. Okay, and then to get these, I'm pretty sure I shrunk the pages down to 8x8 to sort of get more of that design for these pages here. Okay, so that's the great thing about digital papers, you can do that. And so we're at the end now. This is the last page. It again has, it's all about waterfalls, this album, you may have noticed. There's a lot of pages like that. So you just open it up, and then these open up like this, and they're perfect spots for 5x7. So I haven't done anything with that. And look at this paper, isn't it amazing? I've just left that because I'm not sure if I want to put a photo here or what I'm going to do. So I've just left that to decide when I put my photos in. That just closes up like that. And we've got the stack pocket again. This is exactly the same as the front cover. Again, I've just done the 4x6 little tabbed photo mat there. And this is a 5x7 one. that I've popped in the back here. And that's it. That's the album, guys. So, and that's the back, which I've already shown you. So I hope you like that. I hope that's given you some ideas for your matting. If you have picked up this tutorial, I really hope you have a lot of fun like I do making it. And you might like to use a different paper collection. That would be really cool to see as well. So anyway, I hope you like this one. And please let me know if you would like me to do those tutorials on the photo folios, because I want to make sure that I'm actually putting content here that you're interested in. You might just be happy just seeing the flip throughs. In that case, I'm happy to do that. But if you'd like a couple of quick tutorials as well, just please let me know and I'll try and accommodate you. So in the meantime, guys, take care, try and find some crafting time, and I'll catch you in the next video.